Hello from Pensport.
Yeah, we stopped at Charlie's Roast Pork for dinner, and we thought that we'd stop in and say hi.
The theme of episode 17 is anniversaries.
Yes, the recognition of noteworthy events.
We'll also talk to you about the happenings in our music community, and we'll have an interview with Carey Rumpf.
So if you're ready, let's get started with the Rusty and Dan Show.
When the world comes crashing down on us, they're always there, and they're always happy company because they care. Oh, yes, they care. And when you need to take out pain, well, no one else will do. Got the phone or go on Zoom. Thank God there are friends like you. I said, thank God there are friends like you.
So, our song of the week was selected from our weekly open mic from Melody Cafe every Thursday. And, we have a virtual component, and that's where we found the next song by Rick Page.
It's called Living the Dream.
What?
And here's my last one. This sums up everything.
Yeah.
What? 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 Living the dream during COVID-19. Novel coronavirus 19. Can we survive? Keep music alive. Novel coronavirus 19. What's the new normal? Does anyone know? Fighting this fiasco. Must sanitize to paralyze COVID-19 without a trace. No shower today. Guess that it is okay. Scruffy face and greasy hair. Sweatpants and Zoom. Netflix, Hulu. Facebook concert streaming there. Living the dream during COVID-19. Novel coronavirus 19. Can we survive? Keep music alive. Novel coronavirus 19. Hit on cooking 2 weeks at a time. Then venture out to the store. A tray of lasagna, then shepherd's pie, chicken salad, so much more. Eating my snacks, hoping not to get fat. Stuck it on the saving grace. My music is here, singing with my headgear. Trying not to touch my face. Living a dream during COVID-19. Novel coronavirus 19. Can we survive? Keep music alive. Novel coronavirus 19. Here we go. What? 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 Thank you, everyone. I'm Rick Page.
And now it's time for Going Out with Rusty and Jan.
Welcome to Going Out with Rusty and Jan. We have an exciting lineup of guests for the upcoming weeks on the Rusty and Jan Show. Next week, our show will air on Tuesday, June the 1st, because of the holiday.
Memorial Day.
That's right. It will be our Spring Thing edition, and we're planning on having a Zoom party on Sunday, May the 30th, for the attendees of Spring Thing to talk about the highlights.
Yes, we'll talk about, did you see what such and such did? And, oh, did you hear that song? I can't believe he did that song. Anyhow.
This after party will be used on June the 1st show, and we'll be sending out an event for that in the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for it if you want to attend. Then on June the 7th, we'll feature our friend Ted Jordan.
One of the best fingerstyle guitarists in the area.
That's right. And on June the 14th, we'll hear from another devoted Melaniite, Richard Hunt.
The word is devoted. He was there every week during the pandemic virtually, and we appreciate him and all the other people been showing up. And venues are reopening everywhere as more people are becoming vaccinated. Melalani Cafe is continuing to have outdoor performances. As always, make sure you go out and support the performers and have some of George's delicious food. Please contact Jan if you are interested in scheduling something. And we are continuing to work on some issues in the Melalani hybrid, in-person, virtual open mic, like another name for it.
Right.
It will continue to take place outdoors in the garden at the plant shop next to Melalani every Thursday from 6 to 9:30. Or it might be over on the other side, or it might be inside, but you don't got to worry about that if you're virtual. For now, we will continue online signups every Wednesday at 5 on the Melalani Open Micers group page.
As previously mentioned, a number of festivals are planned for this season. PFS Spring Thing will be held virtually next weekend, May 29th and 30th, and we're looking forward to seeing all of our friends.
And Falcon Ridge Folk Festival will have a one-day outdoor hybrid event on July 31st in Goshen, Connecticut. More details on that to come as we receive them. That's going to be different from their usual thing,
Right.
So,
well, first of all, it's only a one-day event this year.
That's what I mean. So it's going to be interesting. But you know what? If you're just getting out and you don't want to stay over or you don't want to camp, it sounds like a nice alternative.
Philadelphia Folk Fest will take place from August 19th through the 22nd. We're still waiting to hear whether it will be virtual, in person, or just some combination of both. And we'll let you know as soon as we have some information on that.
As soon as we know. And XFest will take place in person at the Country Creek Winery on September 17th and 18th. Oh, I like Merlot.
PFS Fall Fling will happen in person on October 1st through the 3rd with limited attendance in Green Lane, Pennsylvania.
And now a word from our sponsor, the Melalani Cafe.
And now it's time for Head to Head with Rusty and Jan.
Rusty, isn't it amazing how many anniversaries occur this time of the year?
It is kind of. Well, aside from birthdays, there's Mother's Day, Memorial Day, Father's Day, and wedding anniversaries, including our own this coming Wednesday. Did you notice how I remembered that very important one?
Yes, your attention to this event is well noted.
Check.
It was a lovely day at Spring Thing 9 years ago. We had a wedding workshop, and all of our friends were present, and we arranged to bring in our family to celebrate the day with us.
We were so fortunate to have ceremonial music from some of our closest friends. Kenny Lancy put together a crew which included Jeff Six, Mary Kay Mann, and Sam France to play Puckabill's Cannon for Jan's entrance and procession.
Mara Levine and Terry Burrell sang I Need You to Turn To by Elton John. Michael London sang an original song, and Jeanette and Steve sang the wedding song by Paul Stuckey.
We sang I Will Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cat for Cutie after we had a large glass of wine to celebrate our union.
Ooh. Steve Cullett sang a joyous rendition of All You Need Is Love by the Beatles after we were pronounced man and wife.
And Gigi Garrity sang At Last for our first dance, and lest we not forget, the electric slide, as only Electric Man can do it, was done at the reception.
I was so happy to share this day with my mother, and I did not realize that she would pass away a month later.
Another anniversary worth noting.
Which brings us to other anniversaries that are less celebratory.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this week, we also acknowledged the murder of George Floyd and the social unrest and social change that ensued.
We like to think that his sacrifice and the sacrifice of his family endures will lead us to a time of increased brotherhood and love for our neighbors.
We hope you'll stay with us for our closing song, which illustrates the event more succinctly.
And we had the pleasure of speaking with Carey Rumpf this week. Here's how the interview went.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're really happy to have a special guest this week. He's a guy he's been playing in the area for a while, and his family plays in the area, and we see him virtually, and we've seen him at Melilani. We're real lucky to have Carey Rumpf.
Hi, Carey.
Hello. Thanks for having me. I appreciate
Our
it.
pleasure.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
How are you
Rusty,
doing?
Jan? I'm doing good. Good. You?
We're doing great.
That's good.
All right. Well, just looking a little bit at your pages and such, it looks like you come from a musical family. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I'm very fortunate in that is true. My dad was a sax player back in the day, a very good sax player, and he played music his whole life, up until he couldn't anymore, and health issues kind of started to cause him not to be able to do that. But it's really funny that I think about when he talks about when he was a kid, he played in what he called an orchestra.
Yeah.
His orchestra was a three-piece band. It was a sax player, a guitarist, and a drummer. And that they would go and they'd play, at the skating rink and dances and stuff like that when he was a kid, and that's how he made money.
Sure.
Interesting thing about that is my daughter Maddie, she plays in an orchestra. Sax player, guitar player, drummer.
Yeah.
So, and then both of my sisters, you guys have run across Chris a little bit.
Sure.
She's
Fantastic.
flute player, sax player, singer, very talented. And then my older sister Cindy, who is 5 years older than Chris still, she's a very good piano player, clarinet, and she's very musical as well. My mom didn't play anything. I always said she played the radio. Yeah. But she also could sing a little bit. She had a little bit of, she didn't really perform, but, singing in church and things like that. Realized that I was very fortunate to get a little bit of that.
Yeah, same thing with me. I grew up in a musical family. My father was just making music all the time. I know Jan's father did. And it kind of raises the question, is it behavioral? Is it something we learn from them, or is it something genetic?
Yeah.
Really?
Or a combination of all of them.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. But I think we would all say that we were compelled, and I think perhaps the example that we got gave us permission. You know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that, the fact that they were involved in music made it more acceptable for, not that they wouldn't support us, we, me and my sisters, we all had to take piano lessons at a certain age. We had to. This was, you used to do this. And I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
I used to hide at my buddy's house next door, and I'd see mom drive by going to piano lessons, and I knew I was going to be in all kind of trouble, but I didn't really care at the time.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure that
20
worked
years
out.
later, I'm really wishing I had gone to piano lessons and taken it seriously. But
We've heard that story before too.
Yeah.
So, I see all the guitars that you have hanging on the wall behind you. That's something.
I got a few. They look better than I can play them, but
But it makes me wonder. Like during the pandemic, we've been seeing all these talking heads on YouTube and on TV, and everybody's got a guitar behind them. I have to wonder if they all actually play them.
Right.
no, I don't play all of them actually. But
Right. Well, we recently saw you perform at Malani, and you had some specialized equipment. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
that I can. I'm assuming. Well, you're talking about my harmonizer because that's what I
Yes.
use there. I also have a looper that I use from time to time. But being not the greatest guitarist, I don't use that often. Guys like Steve Lord or some of these people that they lay down these tracks and then they
you
just
get
do these
around
crazy
pretty well.
solos. Yeah, it's not my thing. But the harmonizer, on the other hand,
Right.
when I started playing solo acoustic, I started to realize that you can only do so much with a guitar and a voice. And there's things out there to help make it a little bit more entertaining.
Interesting.
So it's entertaining for the people, So if somebody's there listening, and so I found this harmonizer, and interestingly enough, I listened to some Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan, So I like, and not the football team, the band. So
Right.
and I just like, some of these songs are so good, but they're just not all that if they don't have some of those harmonies in there.
I have to
So I
agree.
discovered this harmony singer. Harmony singer it's called, and it's very simple to use, which is good for me. I'm not a tech person too good. So you plug your guitar into it, you run it out into your soundboard, you plug the mic into it, out into the soundboard, and then there's 8 different settings that you can have, 2 harmonies, you can have 1, you can have 2 high, 2 low, and combinations of them.
Wow, that's a lot of harmony. That's a chorus. My God.
Yes, I mean, I do 7 Bridges Road by
Yeah,
the
we heard it.
Yeah, and you can't do that without harmony. It's required.
Exactly. That song without harmony is, okay, whatever. But, and it's interesting, like I'll be playing a gig somewhere and I'll break into a song like that and you'll see heads turn.
Oh yeah.
Like literally, these people head like,
Sure.
what was that, And I did have one guy, tell me I was cheating by doing that. I'm like,
Well, there is that.
well, I said to him,
he made a
until I
point.
can sing
Right.
in
You're not
3-part
cheating about that.
harmony, I'm going to use it. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I think you said earlier it's about entertainment. I mean, when you get behind that mic, you want to put your best foot forward, and however you do it, that's how you do it.
If I was a better guitarist, I'd probably do more looping and play more
Yeah.
leads over that. You know what I mean? But
Sure.
I do a little bit of that, and it's cool. I pick and the other thing with the harmonizer, I think with any of these things is you got to pick and choose. You just can't be all that. You got to be tasty with it, I guess. You
Right.
do a couple songs where you use it. You do a couple where you don't. 7 Bridges Road is the only song that I turn it on at the beginning of the song and turn it
And
off
leave
at
it.
the end. Everything else, I'm on and off with it.
Yeah.
But it's I love it. I think it's great.
Well, I have to agree with you. About turning it on and off and trying different things. I think Jane and I, the further we go along, the more we value diversity. The more we can mix it up, the more interesting we can be.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that has to do with even song selections. Being that I play covers, pretty much.
Right.
I
We
don't
were actually
wanna-
going to ask you about that. We're cover artists too. We love to play covers, and as we do with your virtual event and everything. And I don't have any problem with that. I love someone who can really do covers as you do.
They're great songs for a reason.
That's right. Exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, there's somebody's originals.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right. But I think the thing that's cool about the diversity is, you go out and you play an old school country song, and then the next thing you know, you'll do something relatively new and everything in between, and you never know what song's going to touch somebody. And
Right. Oh yeah. Well, Jan and I, we especially, because we do the senior centers and such, we get to play some great arrangements. I mean, some people who are really, Gershwin and Cole Porter and so on and so forth.
We love those.
Just so much fun.
So, as we were saying, we know you primarily as a cover artist, but we understand that you wrote your first song recently. What was that experience like for you?
And
I wrote my first song last week.
And did we inspire you?
You sure did, actually. You sure did. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I've been trying to write for years, and I get inspired by different things. I hear different things, and I got a little bit of a story that's a little bit off the subject of this particular song, but I rode my motorcycle to California a number of years ago, and I was stopped for breakfast in a place in Missouri, and it was freezing cold. It was October, and I was really cold. And there's a guy sitting at the counter. I'm just got my hands wrapped around a mug of coffee, and I'm trying to warm up. And this guy turned around. He started talking to me. People in the Midwest are so friendly. It's great. I love it. The guy started talking to me, and we had a nice conversation for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and he gets up to leave, and he walks over, and he extends his hand. I shake his hand. He says, "My name's Dave. Maybe we'll meet again someday." And I'm like, that statement is a song.
Yeah.
I just can't write it.
Right.
I've been trying to write that one, I was inspired by, I tried to write some stuff about my dad. And I do have a lot of things that I've written. Sure. I'm just never happy with them,
I think you're not alone in that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people that are always going to be their worst critic.
Yeah, I think most singer-songwriters will say, well, I got it to 99%, but I just couldn't,
Yeah.
So.
And sometimes the 99% is pretty darn good.
Yeah. Well, I've learned to live with that.
Yeah. I did watch this thing, The History of the Eagles. Yeah. And I think it was Glenn Fry was talking. He was friends with Bob Seger, and Bob Seger said to him, just write songs. Most of them are going to be no good, but you're going to get a winner in there once in a while,
Right. Yeah.
And I think another thing that's made me think more about writing is being involved with, like you folks and the people in the Zoom thing and the people that, come out and they play original songs, and I look at it from the standpoint of they're putting themselves out there, which is maybe one of the things I struggle with, So you write something, it's personal to me.
Absolutely.
This guy maybe doesn't like it, and I have a hard time with saying that's okay,
Yeah, yeah. I never go to song critiques. Those things. It's too hard on me.
Yeah.
My song, it's like a baby.
Sure.
Don't criticize my baby.
But I understand what you're saying.
Sure.
I just recently we collaborated and wrote a song together. I tried one other time. I failed miserably. Nobody seemed impressed by it. And so I gave up, and I said, I guess that's that. I can't write a song. And then it occurred to me one day, I bet Bach and Beethoven and the Beatles probably wrote stuff that was no good. And it occurred to me that I probably just gave up too quickly. So I tried it again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly. Well, but you
probably
do know
met,
I'm sorry, what was that?
You probably met singer-songwriters who they claim they'll write a song every day.
Oh, yeah.
And then they throw them out, but they make it a point to do it every day.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Well, about that, I write one once every 50 years. So I got my one in. I'm good for a while. But I don't know where I was going with that.
Well, maybe you should let us hear it.
Yeah, why don't you play a song for us?
I will let you hear it.
Okay.
I can't wait.
I'm not sure if I can.
I'm sure it's great.
There's darkness all around me, walls are closing in. Go into the darkness from the light. Shadows all I see now, blackness all around. Go into the darkness from the light. Ooh. Trying to find my way now, I don't think I can. Can't make it from the darkness to the light. Gonna make my way on through this, I don't think I can. Can't make it from the darkness to the light. Well, help me now, my sister, my lover and my friend. Can't you see I need a helping hand? Help me now, my brother, send all the love you can. Help me from the darkness to the light. We can make it out together. We can make it if we try. Can make it from the darkness to the light. We're all in this together. Extend an open hand. We can make it from the darkness to the light. Oh, thank you now, my brother, my sister, and my friend, for seeing that I need a helping hand. Oh, thank you now, my lover, for all the love you send to help me from the darkness to the light. Ooh. We made it through together, it's the only way we can. We made it from the darkness to the light. We made it out together, we made it hand in hand. We made it from the darkness to the light. Oh, thank you now, my lover, my brother, and my friend, for knowing that I need a helping hand. Oh, thank you now, my sister, for all the love you send. You helped me from the darkness to the light. Ooh. From the darkness to the light.
Lovely.
That
Very
was
nice.
great.
Absolutely.
I like that a lot.
Thank you very much.
So, as a working musician, what are some of your projects? Like, where do you play? Is it bars, coffee houses, different venues? Where do you go?
Pretty much anywhere they'll have me.
I know, right?
No,
I always say to Jan, I said, we play anywhere they don't throw us out. She hates that.
right now, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on, but you know, bar, restaurants, kind of things. Not the coffee houses so much, but you know, private events, parties. Did a fundraiser this past weekend with I sing with the duo with Nicole, you know, Old Fangled. We did an event. It was up in Birdsboro, like a community day, but it was benefit the library. So we played an hour set up there. Yeah, bars, restaurants, and pretty much wherever they'll have me.
Well, it looks like they're starting to open up, but
It is. Yeah.
personally, I think that people like you and I can assist them with that because they're not sure about how many people to let in, and there's a thing with the mask and all this stuff, and it would be good to help them transit, but everybody's scared,
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for good reason.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I understand it.
Right.
It's
But
one of those things that-
the reality is, where would we have been without our Zoom sessions? I mean,
really depressed.
It was such a way station to go to your event once a week and to see people that I used to play with that I haven't seen in years. So
It was really interesting in that, some of the people that were coming on there I had never met in person.
Yeah.
Same thing with us.
Yeah,
Right.
and a lot of them, the Tom Wagners and Steve and a lot of those people would come to the open mic when we had it back when we had it, and but there's other people that were just showing up. They were friends of somebody, and they're like, "Hey, can we invite you?" Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. That's how we met you.
Right.
I think Six
Absolutely.
invited you to our open mic.
right.
So
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then finally we met in person.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like what was it?
Twice,
6
I
months
think.
later?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But no,
But
it's,
there's been so many people, and I think you not qualify in this at all, that they say they would not have been able to get through the pandemic had it not been for the virtual open mic or the event that you have. It's
it's one of those things where, what do you do?
yeah.
What do you do? You're not really supposed to go anywhere. You can't really do anything fun. All the good things, and I just say all the good things in life have been taken away. And
Right.
so to some degree, once a week you sit down there and there were Wednesday nights where I'm like, oh, I just don't feel like it tonight. And then I sit down there and we start running through songs. I'm like, okay, I feel like it now. And somebody plays some crazy tune and that inspires like, hey, I should play this one, And
Right.
then I butcher one I haven't played in years, and you've witnessed that too, but it happens. So it was all fun.
All
And
of
then-
us.
Yeah. We have our oh shit moment.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. It's become the thing, and
It has. It has.
I don't think
happens.
virtual's going anywhere. I don't know if you're continuing to run any of your Zoom open mics. I think we're going to always have some aspect. How do you see virtual fitting into your life after pandemic?
it's probably too soon to tell. I
Yeah.
don't really
Good
know
point.
at this point. If I'd have to think about, like, if I were to, all of a sudden, if the guy were to call me, hey, let's go back, let's get the open mic going again on Wednesdays. Well, then I wouldn't be sitting here at my desk on Wednesday
Right.
nights playing. But how would we incorporate that if there's still people that, and this is something you guys could help me out with.
We did. We
We
did
did
that
it.
last week. And of course, we would help anybody in the community who wanted to take a crack at it. It gets a little tricky, mostly because of the equipment. You know how it is when you're setting up for a gig and you want to make sure you're coming into the soundboard and is at the right level. And, and then you add a video camera to the whole thing. I mean, it gets a little tricky, but we
Right.
did pretty good last week. We were lucky.
It was one of those things where I had this idea, and but I was like, I don't know if I can make that work. I know.
Yeah.
So, but when it happened, it was like, oh my God, we actually did it.
Right. So, yeah. So, I mean, I really feel like this is going to have to continue on some level, just
Yeah.
because it's really created such a need, But I guess we'll see.
Well, before we have you play another song, do you have a website or music? How would somebody get music if they wanted to buy it?
Oh, and where was the open mic when you were doing it live?
There's a place called the Craft House in Thorndale.
Craft House in Thorndale.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a bar, restaurant,
Yeah.
and it was a good spot. I mean, we would draw a ton. There were nights,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of just the local guys around here that, and that's why I met Tom Wagner there. I met so many interesting, cool people through open mics. And when I started I met Steve Lord at an open mic they used to do at a place up in Sanatoga. Used to go down to Tuned Up Brewing and meet just so many cool people. And I find I've been to some open mics that weren't fun, that were kind of competitive, you know? And
Right.
The comedy ones. Oh, real hard. That's tough.
But I was very fortunate, you know, the one that I ran, and I helped out at Tuned Up Brewing from time to time when they needed somebody to sit in. But I was very fortunate in that the people were so accepting of everyone.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what style you played. It didn't matter if it was your first. There was guys came in, I've never played in front of anybody before.
Yeah.
And you know what? It didn't matter if they made some mistakes, some oh shit moments, if they just killed it.
Well,
Everybody was appreciative of that, you know?
You know, that's what I see the role as of the open mic as. It's a place for people to learn and grow and hone their craft.
Yeah.
And to try out new songs and new material.
Right.
And you know, with a group that, hey man, I haven't played this song before, you know, so it's just my first time. Let me know what you think.
Right.
We're all friends here, you know. I'm gonna beat you up too bad.
Well, you know, it's actually it's the reverse. It's kind of funny when you're at an open mic and you're there with all your friends, and you make a mistake, everybody laughs and they laugh with you. It's just
especially when you
part
throw
of
no
being
shit
in the
in there.
family.
You know, and you know it's okay because they're
Yeah.
your friends and they love you and, you know, they're not
Exactly.
going to hate you for it, obviously.
Well, you'll hate me, but that's another.
Well, that's another story.
To answer your question, Jan, I don't really have a website. Just a Facebook page. It's Carey R.
Okay.
Carry on.
And we have an old fangled page for Nicole and I as the duo. And you know, she's a ridiculous singer. I mean, if I have a solo gig and she comes out and gets up and does 2 or 3 songs, she'll go sit down and people are like, bring up the girl. I'm like, okay.
I go through a bit of that myself.
Oh man. So
All right. Well, how about another song?
want to hear another one? This is a Tom Wagner original.
All right.
Great.
Oh, if I make any mistakes, I have to say, oh, shaving cream in this one. This is called Beautiful Dreamer by Tom Wagner. Beautiful, 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 beautiful dreamer. Beautiful, 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 beautiful soul. Beautiful, 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 beautiful dreamer. Beautiful, 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 beautiful soul. Love flows so freely. Love to everyone. Love so amazing. Love, only love. Beautiful, 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 beautiful dreamer. Beautiful, 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 beautiful soul. Beautiful, 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 beautiful dreamer. Beautiful, 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 beautiful soul. Your light shines so brightly, the darkness disappears. Your smiles lift me higher. Love, only love. Beautiful, 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 beautiful dreamer. Beautiful, 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 beautiful soul.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful dreamer. Beautiful, 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 beautiful soul. Beautiful, beautiful soul.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
That's lovely.
It is
Tom
lovely.
Leonard, tune who I heard him do it one night, and I said, "Hey Tom, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get on here and talk with you guys." I said, "Would you mind if I played your song?" And he's like, "Nah." I said, "I'd like to hear that actually."
Yeah, and of
I
course,
did play it at the open mic one night. And I butchered it.
Nice.
that happens.
Oh shit, green moments.
But you were among friends, so
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, Carey, thank you very much for coming
Oh,
on and
yeah.
being
Thank
our
you
guest
for having
today.
me. I enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks for what you do every week, as far as pulling some of us together so we can
Yeah,
have some
absolutely.
community. It's
Keep
it's
rocking and
very
rolling.
important.
Thanks for what you do as well. I
Thank you.
wish I could join in more often, but
We wish we could join yours more often.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
We'll get back-
summer's coming and everyone's getting vaccinated. We have some good days ahead.
yeah, life. You guys all vaccinated?
Yes.
Yeah.
How about you?
I got my first last week.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
my second.
Days
in a couple
coming.
weeks.
Oh yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll be at Folk Fest. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, that remains to be seen.
Right.
So, anyway, that's
All right.
it.
That's it. Thanks so much. And
Thank you.
we'll see you
I
Wednesday.
appreciate it.
Well, we hope you know how important celebrating anniversaries are if you are devoted family, musical or otherwise.
The upside is that we can now celebrate them in person with each other.
Yeah! Oh, no more air hugs! Our closing song is a parody on a song about the events of violence against peaceful protesters at Kent State in the late 60s.
It's called The Day They Killed George Floyd.
Tin soldiers and Trump is coming. In a bunker he got annoyed. That summer we heard the drumming. 4 police have killed George Floyd. Gotta get down to it. Police are holding him down with a knee on his neck, not allowing airflow. We heard him call mom saying, I can't breathe from the ground. How can you run when you know? Gotta get down to it, police are gunning them down. Should have been fixed so long ago. Remember Ohio, boy, we're dead on the ground. How long will it take till we know? The cops and Trump is coming, has a Bible and he's annoyed. This summer we hear the strumming for a daughter who played with Floyd. 4 police have killed George Floyd. 4 police have killed George Floyd. The people have killed George Floyd. A new way must be employed. The old way must be destroyed.